Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. I'm going to talk to you future truck drivers, ones that's thinking about being truck drivers, the ones that just started being truck drivers, and it just kind of be amusing for those that's been out there a while. I ran about 600 miles today, no big deal, nothing to brag about. Nothing to complain about. It wasn't all bad. Just under 600 actually. I think it was like 578. I don't remember. It don't matter. I got where I needed to be. Pretty mellow drive most of the morning. I'm sure y'all remember that little post last night about micromanaging. Well, this was following it up. Did pretty good till I got down to Plano, Texas. Somebody opened the gate on stupid because it was rampant today. Actually, it was rampant all the way from there down to Austin. I did a little bit south of Austin. What is that? New Brunswick, however they say that. Got up there where I was going to do a lane change and need to go over to the right for the road I was on, 75. Another car in the right lane. They backed off and made me a hole on the right lane. That was cool. I started easing over, literally had the right-hand tires over into that lane, and some four-wheeler going to force their way into my lane where I'm merging into. Yeah, they got a little bit cheeky and decided they didn't want to do it, but of course I was the bad guy. I got that California howdy, the one telling me how I was number one. I don't get it. What'd I do? You know? They jumped out from around that guy that had slowed down to let me over, sped around them in the right-hand lane to try to cut me off because they was in some kind of hurry. Really? That wasn't too bad. We've all had stuff like that. Couldn't have been 15 miles down the road. Starting to get into Dallas then. And wasn't really no one around. Traffic wasn't that heavy. And the car, now I'm in the second from the left lane, the truck hammer lane. We're not allowed in the left lane in that section. So I'm in the truck hammer lane. Because you know how it is down that way. You got all kinds of on and offs. And I was exceeding the speed limit a little bit. Not much, a little bit. Plenty of stopping distance between me over a truck length. Probably close to 2 truck lengths between me and the traffic ahead of me. And I'm pacing them. That's your safest thing to do, folks, is pace the traffic. Don't go faster, don't go slower, pace the traffic. That's about your safest way to do these places. And that's what I was doing. There was like 3 lanes to my right. A car literally came off the ramp all the way in front of me and all but stopped. And we're traveling at 70 miles an hour. My stuff's still all on the floor. I mean, I shut her down. That far off, I mean, I thought I had them. I literally thought at the last second they jumped over. What it was is they're wanting to go to that paid HOV lane over here, 5 lanes over. And you know, they got them cones down it. And right here's the beginning of it. So they're wanting to go from this ramp all the way over to that tow zone. They couldn't see around me coming from there to here. So they came in front of me and all but came to a stop so he could half-ass look beside me and then darted over there. They don't know how. I told the wife then, I said, I have got to get a dash cam. I said, that right there, I said, if I had hit them, you know they would not have admitted how stupid they was in a no stupid zone, they would have tried to say, well, the truck driver hit me in the rear end. He rear-ended me. It's the truck driver's fault. I told her, I said, I've got to get a dash cam. That right there pretty much signs it for me. I've got to get one. I was trying to hold out to get one of them 3 or 4 camera ones where it shows down the sides and out the front. I don't know if I can hold out that long. So, I got to do something. That's for sure. Then on down, now that one shook me up. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little bit shook up over that one. That was close. That's close I've been without being in an accident in a long time. A little bit farther down the road, I'm literally passing Swift. He's in the slow lane where he's supposed to be. I fell over. I'm doing the speed limit, 70. And I'm easing around him. Not real heavy traffic, but there's traffic out. Ain't no room for stupid. So, I'm getting up there. I just passed another four-wheeler. And there was 3 or 4 car lengths between that four-wheeler and Swift. I keep easing on around, so now I'm going to start taking Swift. My bumper and his DOT bumper is kind of meeting at the moment. And here comes a car that passes these people on the shoulder and flies in between that car and Swift. And right here by my window, I can see the young girl. And she just ran and raving and carrying a fuss. She thought she was going to run up there and cut between me and Swift. I'm just shaking my head at her. Like, really? I got on around Swift, and I'm still watching her. When stupid gets around me, I watch stupid. That's your biggest chore out here, is predicting stupid. You have to assume you're the only one that has a clue what they're doing, and everybody else just kind of driving around in a daze. And it really feels like that at times. I got to turn this AC up a little bit. I'm sorry, folks. I'll get it more direct. I try to keep it down with whistles, and I know that's got to be irritating. But I was trying to keep an eye on her to see if she's going to do anything else stupid. Maybe a quarter mile, if that, less than a half mile, we get past the very next exit, and she gets off. So now she's going to pass them on the shoulder, try to shoot between me and Swift to get around Swift to catch that ramp. Now, if you ain't got a baby in that car dying, what the hell are you thinking? And if you do, you should just stay on the shoulder. Oh, truck drivers. It was a no-name company. It wasn't no big name that we all know. I don't even remember their name. We're coming through, I guess it was Austin. Heavy traffic due to construction. It's normally like 4 lane through there, and they've got to squeeze down to 2 late Sunday afternoon. So it's a little heavy traffic. A lot of stop and go. And in Texas, when you stop and go, you go. When you stop, you stop. So 0 to 70 to 0. And you know how us trucks are. And I'm in the hammer lane, you know. Another truck on the right. You know how we do that through that traffic deal. And every time he'd start getting on his brakes pretty heavy, them trailer brakes on the driver's side smoking. It ain't like we're in hills or mountains. Well, I'm trying to get up there beside him. Finally, I did get up there beside him and put my window down. And he had headphones on, listening to radio through headphones, earbuds, whatever you call them. Really, people? Driving a big truck and you have your hearing turned off so that you can listen to music? I had to hit the air horn to get his attention, get him to put his window down, and I yelled at him, dude, your brakes are smoking like crazy. Oh, okay. But at least he did slow way down, and he did catch the next ramp and got off to check his stuff. If you're on flatlands and you're only smoking your one side of your trailer brakes, and it's not in that heavy traffic, I'd say you didn't have your brakes adjusted. And I know there are those that would say, I wouldn't let him go burn up. I can't do that. If I can tell somebody and help them, I'm going to do it, whether they deserve it or not, whether they appreciate it or not. We don't need it. I mean, I done passed one truck that burnt today, and 2 or 3 wrecks, bad wrecks. The last thing I want to do is contribute to or not try to stop another bad incident. So hopefully he was experienced enough to figure out what his problems were. And no, I didn't stop to help him adjust his brakes. But just been a crazy day out here. And is it a full moon or what? But those of you thinking about coming in, this is stuff that happens a lot. This is why my wife decided she didn't want to drive. I'd brought her out. Her whole thing about when we talked about when we become empty nesters, we was going to get her to driving. We was going to get her CDLs, and we was going to get one of them little expedite trucks. We thought that'd be fun to try. And that's how I wound up going with Prime, because Prime did have the best deal, sounding like the best deal, because she said she had rode enough that she told me, she said, if I'm going to learn how to drive, you're going to teach me. She said, I've done seen enough of these trainers that need trainers. That's what a lot of us think and say out here. When you've been driving 6 months and you're a trainer, you still need to be trained. You ain't got no right to be training. You don't have a clue what you're doing. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel about it. That's about like taking a damn junior in high school and making him the teacher over the 6th grade. Really? So she wanted me to teach her, so we checked out several companies, and they had what sounded like the best deal. We got up there and started doing it. That first night, I'm reading her stuff, and I told her we don't want to do this. But she thought we did. That's a whole different story. But anyway, we started jumping through their loops, and took her out, and she had less than 100 miles under her belt, and had some idiot come around her and cut over in front of her on his phone and locked it up. And she locked it up, and I told her, I said, you did great. You know, you kept it in your lane, you didn't kill him. I mean, she had to lock it down. Now, it was not as bad as that thing today, but it wasn't very far from it. And it just turned her into jelly. She's like, I don't want to do this no more. So, and after that, she just lost her nerve. She didn't want to do it. But, yeah, folks, if you're thinking about coming out here, you're going to have to be prepared for it, because sooner or later it will happen to you as well. If you're a new driver out here, if it ain't happened to you, it will. And the older drivers out here, it doesn't happen to you. You're like telling the monitor right now, your phone, whatever you're watching this on, yeah, dude, you should have seen the one I was in. You got to watch them, folks. Like I said, your number one job out here is predict stupid, because it's all around you. So that's my little deal on today's fun and excitement. Bottom line is, I made it to where I needed to go without hurting nobody, without getting hurt. It was a good day. God bless y'all. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.